Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terrace Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties, motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about meditation. And what is the purpose of meditation? Now, there's a big old meditation been here for ages, you know what I'm saying? I was here a little bit before meditation, but the real reasoning to meditation, here's the actual reasoning for meditation. Meditation is a form of getting your yin realm together in the external realm. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a point in time when humans was more cave-like, animal-like, but they was more in tune with nature, like animals. So for the most part, animals who are nocturnal and can see in the night usually sleep or go into the unseen during the day, and then wake up and come into the scene during the night, and then vice versa. Animals who usually can see in the daytime be out in the day, and then be in a secluded area that you can't see or sleep during the night. Now this is why you get certain energetic energies. Now positive or negative, we're not talking about that yet, but you're just gonna have a certain impactful energy perceived to you when you see something like a bat or a raccoon in the daytime, or an owl in the daytime. You're gonna have a extra emphasis and a different kind of energetic energy you receive from that than if you was to see a cat or a bird in the daytime. And that's in vice versa. At night, you know what I'm saying, you will catch a more energetic vibration when you see maybe like a regular bird, or maybe like a dog running around without a home or something like that. You catch a deeper energetic annotation to it than you would if you would have seen that in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? So all this helps metaphysically. See, it was a time that the human body is supposed to wake up when the sun rises, and then when the sun falls, the human body is supposed to go to sleep. Here's why. You guys got separated so much that you start to look at, and then by the society gearing you towards so much left brainness, it's an unbalance. Even with the axis on the earth, it's an unbalance with the left, to the point that a lot of physical beings coming into this existence now is just purely right-handed, because they're purely left brain. You're writing everything to the right because the left controls your right side of your body. So you're writing everything to the right. You look at time to the right. You make lines to the right. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything is to the right. And in order for you to have the aspect of something coming back around, you have to go down, because when you writing in a sentence on a piece of paper, once you cover that first line, you're really supposed to come back around and cover that same line or go higher. But this density, and whoever controlled the intellectual property of this density we in, made people add weight to themselves, add density. So when you're writing on a sheet of paper and you cover that first line, instead of you going up higher and lightening your load using less words, or instead of you just being a balanced type of person and rewriting the sentence, making another sentence over the same line over the previous sentence, you have to go down and write up under it. And then in this density, that's the only way we even understand how to read out paragraphs. You see how you was not taught another way, but you see how this damaged you in so many ways coming to the future, coming from the past where I was initially at, looking at these things start off. And it's like, when you're writing, right, after that first line, you're supposed to come back around and elevate, ascend, or come back around as balanced. But they're teaching all humans to come down into density. That lets you know whatever intellectual property that being ran, whatever being is running this intellectual property, they're doing that as a purpose. And they're not density yet, so they're getting played out and through this density through other people with their energy. But the overall soul group of that being is doing some whole other shit. And it knows what it's doing. And that's why people like me ain't famous. That's why people like me don't have millions of dollars, because it will mess up the representation. It's an attack mode. See, it's going to take me longer to get there, but when I actually get there, the war is going to heighten. So now they're going to attack me through things of having money, or things of being famous. So you know, things that come with that, programs that come with that, and that can dilute me from the actual message. So it's beings out here that don't want a lot of you to be where y'all want to be. So it's going to take y'all longer. It's not to say that you can't get there. By you just being human, you powerful. You can get to where you got to go. But once you get there, then the war heightens, because this being knows that you're intellectually, spiritually, physically, and soul-wise aware enough to actually go to war. So they have to attack you through other ways, through family, friends, the money that you end up getting to manifesting, and the fame that you end up receiving and stuff like that. That's why they come through you like that. So this shit is deep. But for the most part, when we talk about the original form of manifestation was when we had lost that science back then. When we lost the science to live in two worlds, because we got so left brain that we start to think that this is more real than the yin realm, where they're both simultaneously is needed. But when we go far left, far one-sided, everything going to start to play out externally like that, and the left brain controls the external, and the right brain controls the internal, and the spirit controls the overall perspective of both of them joining together to create new energies always. The negative and positive charge, the yin and the yang charge, you know what I'm saying? The male and female charge. It takes a male and a female to create a child. You know what I'm saying? But let a scientist tell you who use all of their left brain and don't even use the emotions and feelings behind things. You know what I'm saying? Let a purely left brain scientist tell you. They'll tell you that they can make a test tube baby. They'll tell you that they can shoot somebody else's sperm inside of your sperm without even a connectiveness of the emotions and feelings between two energies, two charges, the male and the female, positive, negative, yin and yang. So now we are creating external ways of creating, and that's leading to nowhere. What is these kids really made of? You see what I'm saying? They're engineered. They're iRobots. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now when we talk about, as far as they got you already controlled, thinking that you have to add, you're going down. So when you're writing on a paragraph, the next sentence is underneath that one. Adding weight, adding density, add more words, adding paragraphs, add more shit. And it has no choice but to appear as down. And then they teach you that's the only way how to logically understand it. You don't even know how to understand someone who write their sentence, then their next sentence was the line on top of it. You'll be like, your left brain to go through shock. You'll be like, damn, why didn't you start writing at the top of the page? Why didn't you start writing on the far left side of the page so your period could be, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be thinking you right because of the society we in, and you'll be looking at this person like they stupid because they presented to you some paperwork like that. And you see how metaphysically that can trickle down to how much wrong shit. Now I'm not here to tell everybody to start writing all crazy and stuff. We have to apply, because all of y'all agreed to a collective consciousness to a certain degree. So by y'all agreeing to a collective consciousness to a certain degree, you have to all agree on the next thing. That's just like the laws, the legislation system and stuff like that, like the executive laws and stuff like that. Like the Senate can't make a law, the president can't actually go through something until they have a round table and each party can agree on certain things. That's a collective, a general consensus. So since this reality y'all in, y'all created this as a collective, and then y'all start wanting to experience separateness in the collectiveness. So now y'all just making yourself more separate from yourselves when in general y'all made y'all whole self separate in general. It plays out in stupid things. You know what I'm saying? So it's levels to this. Yeah, go ahead, keep writing that way, but just know what's actually happening. So now you're consciously aware of what's actually happening. So when you do get attacked from certain realms that you was naive from before because you think it was the right thing to do, you know how to rise above it. You're going to end up knowing how to manifest a lot faster because you can see the programs and the obstacles in front of you when they present it to you. Because a lot of times obstacles and programs that's in front of people be the things that people do every day. It don't be no shit that you just learned on the internet and be like, oh, I've been doing that all the time. No, it's shit you do every day. Just the fact that you get up, turn on the TV and watch a program, that already hold a lot of metaphysical annotations about how your day going to be carried out. That's part of the collective consciousness. It's building, adding, and subtracting, and creating the way your day going to be for you. And if you're not consciously aware of things, then you're going to be taking control. you're going to be taken control and used as a vessel by these beings and energies, other than you taking your power back and you being who you are and you actually controlling the way your day presumes out. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things I gotta cover before I actually get to the meditation, because that's a plantation full of meds that you already have inside of you, and you don't really need no external thing in order to feel that. That was a good segue to what we're talking about now, which is meditation. Now, as far as meditation, it's a plantation of meds. Now, you have to be very, 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 very careful when you diving into the meditation paradigm, because you have a lot of people who are in a lot of programs, watch a lot of different things, and then when they jump into this meditation program, they jump into the wrong plantation. So they're going to be picking meds from a plantation they're not supposed to be in. That's almost like God telling you don't eat the fruit from that tree. So if you know better and then you go into that realm and still eat shit from that tree, you know what I'm saying, you're going to fuck yourself up. But we're dealing with a society right now where there's a lot of people, a lot of humans that don't know better. Animals meditate all the time. A bird cannot be asleep but be still and sit there. You be thinking, is the bird asleep? Why the bird standing? No, the bird is meditating. The whole reason that humans or any kind of species on this earth, right, this snake pit earth right here, came up with the concept of meditating, because they lost the science of being able to blend naturally with nature as far as sleeping and waking up. So now we have to find ways to do it, because now that we got jobs and things to do, your timing of nature is going to be all fucked up. So the way your right and left brain communicate with each other is going to be all fucked up. These eyes really technically is not supposed to be looking into the world when the sun is down on this density. Like, your eyes supposed to be closed. You're supposed to look into darkness when you close your eyes, when outside is actually into darkness. Then when the sun come up and illuminate, that's when your eyes supposed to come up. And that's science. I guarantee you, if you sick and you ain't got no job or nothing, this, that, and the third, and you a sick person, use this science. Wake up when the sun go up, and when the sun, you may have 12 hours woke and 12 hours sleep, but I guarantee you, you do that for a week straight, I guarantee you, any sickness you had would disappear. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we talk about as far as meditation, see, people started getting jobs, they started forgetting their science, they started forgetting how dreams, they started getting too left brain, to the point that external things started becoming the representation of internal things, when really internal things are supposed to be representations of external things. You know what I'm saying? But we left brain, you know what I'm saying? Left is external, right is internal. So here's what happened. Left is without, right is going within. So here's what happened when we came up with the concept of meditating. A lot of times people have to work at nighttime. A lot of times people had to do things at nighttime. The Lemurians and all that shit started going to war and shit like that, and all those cautious beings and stuff like that, before we actually started to become left brain. So the only way we was able to understand our yin, like, we started to create a paradise externally. Like, you have one being coming from this bliss on all levels, right? And then it came down and wanted to create its own bliss. So it created what it felt inside, right? And made it external. Now, all the beings that gravitate towards that external way of things, this is what happened. So when this snake pit started getting developed, it was like a paradise. It was like sunny all the time. You know what I'm saying? Good weather all the time. You know what I'm saying? And this, that, and the third, to the point that, remember in my last video, when things become itself too much, it want to experience separation. And when things experience separation too much, it want to experience wholeness again. And it's doing it simultaneously. It's beings that come from this God realm of everything happening, hell, heaven, simultaneously. So they just want to experience the time between these. They will kill. They will jump through you and make you kill 1,000 people, if that's what it takes for them to feel the time, the experience, having a soul separate from the it soul, the God soul. They would kill for that. That's the first fucking thing they need to create and manifest their own world, to be separate. This is the Lucifer effect. The Lucifer effect is the Luciferian is an effect that happened in a geometrical aspect when everything was coming together. Like from us as angels in the spirit realm, Lucifer came slightly before that, but not much before that. So I can say Lucifer is like my big brother, like my big sister. But it's something that came right before the 4 aspect, right before the 4th dimension, right after the 3 aspect. It's like it's in between that 1, 2, 3 sequence. It's right in between after the 3, before the 4th dimension, before the 4th realm, before the spirit realm, before the 4 archangels, before the 4 horsemen. Lucifer effect is right in between there. And in the tree of life is a geometrical aspect that happens, that allows God to feel like that. And that feeling is a Luciferian, is Lucifer. It's the soul separate from the soul. But when you get that high density, to it's just one soul, hell and heaven at one time, all lights in one, all energies, all temperaments in one. When it wanted to experience itself, right, it's already 1, 2, 3 sequence, right? It's so now it wants to have its own kingdom. Now that little slight thing it did before it reached the 4th dimension and had the spirits, had the spiritual energy come in, which is the four archangels, the 4 fixed stars, which I'm the one on the west, Uriel and Terry's. Right before that, that's the realm we control. There's a soul that stands between that and the 3rd realm of God. It's still God, but it's like a Luciferian. I hope y'all get what I'm trying to say. Say like God is an oversoul, right? And in order to, that's the 1, 2, 3 sequence, right? When it's the singularity, the duality, the experience of his own surroundings. Boom, now it's one. It's a yin and yang coming to one to create one. Person is aware of itself. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? So that's what after 3. Slightly after that, God wanted to experience separation. So before it gets to what's going to control that separate realm, which is angels. This is why everybody have angel guides, spirit guides. I'm a guide. You know what I'm saying? So this is why the angels control that 4th dimension realm and higher. So after that realm, so after it left 3, wanted to experience itself, it created the 4 archangel realms. You see what I'm saying? But that little transition of wanting to experience itself is its own soul becoming separate from its own soul. So that concept itself, that's the Luciferian concept. So when humans play that out, it only get played out through expressions of trying to be separate from God, or trying to act like you know something more than God, or act like there is no God and stuff like that. See, it plays out through humans like that. But that actual geometrical aspect itself is God. And it's just God wanted to experience that. You not supposed to do that. But you have everybody down here. If you a piece of the God light, of course you're going to want to show some examples of it. But now that I'm here to be a guide, a spirit guide, I'm an angel guide, I'm here to let you know the right way to look at that. So you ain't stepping on God's toes and you're still acting in your power. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs a little aspect of the Luciferian effect, or you wouldn't know who you are. This is how God know who he is. He had to separate itself, or she is. God had to separate itself from itself to know what it is, to be able to look at itself. Now, you're not supposed to take that science and use it for your selfish gains. Of course you are going to be a Luciferian ass motherfucker. Of course you're going to be a devil worshipping ass motherfucker, because you in those programs and you in that concept. And anytime a human play these traits out, a human can only look at something from a selfish point of view or a selfish gain. And then when they try to add others into it, it's they're trying to do selfish for all. And it's not like that. It's supposed to be all for self, not self for all. It's supposed to be all for self, not self for all. When self is for all, that's a person taking their self and thinking that they're the one that can benefit all. So you don't even have that power. I don't even know why you think like that. But when it's all for self, that's when a person think about everybody else then when they come to the conclusion of themselves, of who they are, they're able to have the right mindset on how to bring people together or bring themselves together. And that brings them to a righteous, lighter note, not a separate note, oh, y'all stand under my construct. No, this is going to be a note of everybody, we overstand a construct together. You see what I'm saying? So let's get to meditating now. When you actually meditate, it was from us losing that science. So meditate is to kind of understand your inside in the external realm. This is why a lot of times people meditate in the daytime, outside, you know what I'm saying? And your zodiac, your sign deals a lot with well, your moon sign, your moon zodiac sign. Your moon sign deals a lot also with your meditation, because meditation deals with the inside. So you have to actually know the fuck your rising and your sun when it comes to meditation. You have to know your moon sign, because here's the thing, each element meditates in different ways. So if you listening to a person who's telling you to meditate, and they may be an earth sign and they giving you all these body gestures to do, you may not be patient enough to be able to do that. So you're going to start to think you're doing something wrong. Or when you actually frustrate yourself to actually do it the way they taught you how to do it, you may not manifest or see things the way they see it as fast, because you're doing it in their way when you're supposed to be doing it in your way. So, but it's the moon sign, so it's important. Like, you can have an earth sun sign, but if your moon sign is something else, then you have to meditate in that way, because that's what's going to deal. For an example, if you are a fire moon sign, then when you meditate, a lot of times you're going to have problems with a burning sensation of the eyes, because fire are the feeler and the seers. So they like to see the way they feel. So when they close their eyes and get into a meditation state, they're actually trying to visualize, but it becomes hot. It's like you start to get like a burning sensation. Like, you got to open your eyes. Like, your eyes will burn if you keep them closed too much. You know what I'm saying? It'll play out like that. So good ways for fire moon signs to meditate is around water, or having some type of cap that can relax your eyelids for you, so you don't have to feel like you're constantly having to close your eyes to meditate. Have something over your eyes, and that's going to relax the aggression in your eyelids as being a fire moon, because your moon is kind of your Mercury connected to the eyes, but your moon is also how you see things in both realms. You know what I'm saying? Water moon signs. Y'all when it comes to meditating, y'all may have a problem with sitting still, because water is fluid. So once you start to feel and start to gain the emotions of where you at when you're meditating, it's going to cause movement. It's going to cause expressions and stuff like that. So it's good for water signs to do meditation around lit candles, like fire. A lit candle, or outside in the sun, or, you know what I'm saying, around listening to calming music and calming vibrations, so it'll calm your body down. So when your emotions and your fluids inside start to jump up everywhere because of what you're thinking about and what you're emotionalized with, your body don't have to do it with it. You know what I'm saying? Your body still can stay still, and that deals a lot with your eyelids and